Welcome back to FUNSTON TV. This is Mai. Today I wanted to share with you a holiday makeup tutorial, and this is the look I came up with. I used some green and some red for it to look like Christmas, but it's not totally too much to wear. I think this is very wearable since we only have green on the lower lash line and then red on the lips. As for the eyes, it's all golden shades, so I thought it was really festive. So if you're interested in finding out how to do this look, just keep on watching. Okay, so we are starting off today by priming our eyelids. I'm using the Urban Decay Primer Potion, and just blend that all over the lid all the way up to the brow, and making sure you apply some on the lower lash line as well. Then with a small fluffy brush and the shade Beaches and Cream from Makeup Geek, you're just going to apply that everywhere on the lid just to mattify the lid after you applied some primer, so the other shadows kind of apply easier after that. And then we're going in with the shade Peach Smoothie from Makeup Geek, and again just putting that all over the lid just to create a bit of dimension and depth for the other shadows we're going to go in with after. I'm going to go in with Makeup Geek Cocoa Bear, and with that same brush again I'm going to go in the outer third of the eyes with a V shape, and then slowly dragging the color inwards, but making sure that the color really stays more dark on the outer edges and it goes softer as you go towards the center of the lids. Then today for eyeshadows, I'm using the Morphe 35E palette and using this first champagne shade on a flat brush. We're going to apply that everywhere on the lid and extending it pretty far up, and you want to go from inner corner all the way to, I would say, the half of the lid. And then using this golden shade from the same palette, we're going to be focusing that on the center of the lid, blending it towards the Cocoa Bear shadow and with the first champagne shade that we put on the lid as well. You can extend it pretty high up as well, and making sure that the edges are pretty blended and seamless. And then for the third shade, we're going in with this coppery gold color, and we're going to be applying it on the outer third of the eye, focusing it where we put that Cocoa Bear shade. It kind of has the same undertone as Cocoa Bear, so it really matches well with the look. And it makes it all blend together really well since both are kind of coppery reddish brown colors, so it will look very well pulled together in the end. And using this frosty eyeshadow and that same flat brush, we're going to be applying it on the inner tear ducts and also extending it a bit on the lower lash line just to brighten up the eyes. And we're basically creating a gradient from all sorts of shimmery shades, going from a light frosty shade all the way to a darker coppery red color. Then you can go back in with the other champagne shade that you lost throughout the blending and build up the intensity of those eyeshadows as you wish. Then to intensify the shimmeriness of the eyeshadows, I'm going to wet my brush with some MAC Fix Plus spray, and then I'm going to be dabbing it over the eyeshadows we just put on, and it's going to make them look more metallic. And now for foundation, today I'm using the NARS All Day Luminous foundation, and I'm going to be dotting that all over the face. And for blending, I'm going to be using a Real Techniques Flawless Complexion Sponge and blending that everywhere so that your complexion is really seamless and perfect and blended. Then for concealing, I'm using a NARS Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard. I'm going to be putting some under the eyes to brighten up everything, around the nose to cover up some redness, on some blemishes, and to balance everything out, I'm also going to apply some on the forehead and on the chin. And again, blend away with your dampened beauty sponge or your brush, whatever you prefer. And to really make sure that your foundation and your complexion doesn't move, I'm going to be applying a lot of powder to bake everything and set everything in place. I'm using that same powder with the Mercier translucent powder. I'm going to be putting a lot around the nose and on the chin as well so that nothing moves. And then while that bakes, I'm going to be defining my brows. I'm using the Anastasia Brow Gel in the shade Dark Brown. You can use whatever product you like. I've been using this one for years and it's just still my favorite. Then make sure you comb your brows so that the strokes you made with the pencil are seamless and blended. And then set your brows so that no hairs go cuckoo throughout the day. And then with the fluffy brush, I'm just going in with the shade Barcelona Beach from Makeup Geek to blend out the edges. I'm gonna go in with the green shade from the Morphe 35U palette, and I'm gonna be applying that on the lower lash line for our pop of green. You can wet your brush so that the application makes it for a more vibrant color, and apply that from the outer edge all the way to the inner corner of the eye where it meets that shimmery shade we just put on. And then going back to the other palette, the 35E palette, and taking that mossy green shade, we're going to blend out the lower lash line. Then going back to that other palette, the 35U palette, I'm going to take a lighter green color to just accentuate the lower lash line just a tiny bit more. It's really optional at this step. And then take a brush and dust off any excess powder that you had put on now that everything is set. And this is also going to help us apply our bronzer and blush as well. And for contour today, I'm going to be using the NYX Pro Highlight and Contour palette and taking this shade on an angled stippling brush from Makeup Geek. This makes the application of bronzer and contour really easy, so I'm just putting that under the cheekbones to get a really chiseled look. And I put a lot here, but if you put on too much, you can always use the beauty sponge to take off the excess. Then take a fluffy brush just to warm up the face on the perimeters of your temples. Then just go ahead and apply some mascara on your lower lashes and on your regular lashes too, but I'm all over the place today, so I'm going to be using the Morphe Gel Liner with an angled brush from Anastasia, and I'm just going to be defining the upper lash line. I'm not doing anything too crazy, no intense wing liner. I'm just going to slightly flick the brush at the end, but we're not doing a crazy liner today, but you could if you want. As you can see here, it's just a tiny flick that I'm doing. Then just curl your lashes and apply some mascara to your upper lashes, and you can leave it at that or apply some false lashes too if you want. Today I'm using a style from Ardell. It's called the 403. They are super uncomfortable, but in the end they look pretty nice, but I ended up wearing them for about an hour because they were too uncomfortable. So then for blush, I'm using Makeup Geek Spellbound blush and applying that with a Sephora brush on the apples of the cheeks. I'm blending it backwards towards the temples. And then you could leave it at that, but I felt over the top, so I added a bit of Makeup Geek Smitten blush on top. It's super unnecessary, but I felt over the top, so you do whatever you want. Then using the Becca Champagne Glow palette and mixing the shade Pearl and Champagne Pop, I'm going to be highlighting the bridge of the nose and the tip of the nose. I'm also going to be putting some on the tops of the cheekbones. You can use another brush too. Fan brushes work really well, but I just had this on hand, so it worked out okay. And I'm also going to put some on the chin to balance everything out. And for lips today, I'm using a Kat Von D Everlasting liquid lipstick in the shade Outlaw. I think this is the beautiful red that's perfect for this look, as it will be our pop of red for the holidays. I'm just going to add a bit of highlighter on the tops of the brow bones just to highlight the very tip of your brows. And then just set your makeup with your favorite makeup setting spray, and here's your final look. Okay, so that was it for my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down below what you would like to see next, and thumbs up this video if you liked it. If you haven't already, please subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. I wish you all a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
This is FUNSTON TV, my trans behind the scenes.
Who deserves the blame in this? That she willfully shut
Is a scandal.
Okay, bye.
Trajectory.
Bum, 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 bum.
As you can